Hey, welcome in to the college football preview. It is week 13. It's Saturday, November 23rd, 2019. I'm your host, the big man on campus, taking you through another week in college football. We're getting down to the nitty gritty. Teams need bowl wins. Teams need to show out for the committee. Teams need to keep up the hot play. We got all sorts of games today. We're going to get to all of them. Every single game we will break down over the next 45 minutes to an hour. Sit back, relax, get your coffee, get your breakfast, and let's have some fun here. Again, if you don't know me, I am the big man on campus. If you're new around here, make sure you subscribe, make sure you support the channel, and make sure you share whenever you can. How's everybody doing today? I'm feeling good. Didn't have a good day last night. Lost my NBA play, which I'm having a good season in the NBA, so it is what it is. But having a slow start to my college basketball season. Last night I had two tough games that I lost. But we're going to keep the positive vibes going. We're going to get after it and hopefully, keep it going in all the sports and get going in college hoops as well. So, not worried just yet. We'll be fine. Just got to keep handicapping and keep putting our best foot forward. Thanks everyone for joining us. Already a lot of people in here. I do appreciate all of you. Make sure you comment if you have a question or something. I do go over every game, so no need to ask about any particular game. I even will give you some thoughts on FCS, FBS matchups today. So I got all sorts of stuff for you planned here on the show. I don't ask for anything from any of you. Just sit back and enjoy the show. All right. Also, what did I want to bring up? I put out my plays. They're already on Twitter. I actually went with three Pac-12 plays today. Really like the Pac-12 card. I've had some success in that conference. So for me, that's kind of where I'm focused today. But I'm sure we'll find some bangers as well as we keep it going here through each game. Okay, let's get into some matchups here. We'll start, as always, with the rotation number. Rotation number is a little 3-digit number next to each game, i.e. 115, 116, 117, 118. That's how we are playing here. So if you're playing along at home, that's how we're getting these lines and how we're going. So let's start up at the top. Nebraska headed on the road to take on Maryland. Nebraska 6.5, total 62.5. All these lines at betonline.ag. That's where we're going. They're the originators of the line. And I want to let everybody know, if you're looking for a book, go check out BetOnline. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay. Right now in the market, there's no one quicker at putting out lines than BetOnline. Listen, I know. I've looked at all this shit. I follow it. I know who's doing it. They're putting out college basketball before anybody. When March comes, they'll be putting out lines before anybody. If you're betting early, you're betting on stuff, you want to get it in, BetOnline is going to have you covered. It's just that simple. There's no one else in the offshore markets, even the regular market, even the American market. They're looking to BetOnline. BetOnline is a respected book. Dave Mason, the guys over there, the good guys, and they're putting out good info. And they're putting out the best line. They're putting out the line earliest. Make sure you check it out, BetOnline. If you want to bet early, they are where you've got to go, okay? Let's get into it here. We'll start off with Nebraska and Maryland. This is a tough game. Both these teams have underachieved considerably this year. I've been disappointed with Scott Frost in Nebraska. I've also been kind of disappointed after Maryland's hot start. Both these teams can run the ball pretty effectively. Anthony McFarland for Maryland, Dedrick Mills for Nebraska. But I like Nebraska's ability to throw the football a little bit more. The quarterback's a little bit more mobile. I trust him a little bit more. But again, I'm not wanting to lay with Nebraska on the road. That's not something I'm doing. I think both these teams can kind of bring something to the table. And I think both teams will have some success in the ground. Neither of these teams is particularly good at stopping the run. I think they give up 174 and 190 apiece. So they're downright poor against the run. So, I kind of saw this game at I don't know, 35, 31, something like that. Over could be interesting. I think you're going to have to break some big plays to hit it. So this wouldn't be a game I'm running to. If I had to bet it, gun to my head, I'd probably take the home dog here. But I would like to get 7 if I was going to. 117, 118. Ball State had it on the road to take on Kent State. Not a big MAC guy. Don't bet a lot of it. If I had to play this, I would side really with Drew Plitt. I mean, Drew Plitt's been really good this year for Ball State. Kent is a group that's really, I think, just trying to get some momentum, win a couple games, and show that their football team's trending in the right direction. But if I'm looking at getting involved with this game, I guess the answer to me is I'm not getting involved with this football game. You look at the standings in the MAC right now. Currently, I believe, Miami of Ohio leading the East, and then Central Michigan leading the West. So it's been an interesting year in the MAC. Not really how we thought it'd be, but Ball State really doesn't have a shot at I think they have a shot at getting to a bowl game. I think they need 2 more wins. So this game, obviously, you need to take care of business here. Kent State ain't real good. You're better than. But then again, you look at Kent. I mean, this is a group that is, surprisingly enough, 2 games away from a bowl as well. So if you're Ball State here, this isn't just a walk in the park like an Akron's going to be. So you need this win today. Both these teams need to win badly, but I'll side with Drew Plitt. I'll side with what Ball State can do here. But again, both teams need the game. 119, 120. Memphis headed on the road to take on South Florida. Memphis laying 14.5, total 59.5. South Florida's actually been pretty interesting this year. Pretty good defensively, pretty tough to play. They've got a pretty good defensive line. Charlie Strong's had a kind of a resurgent season. I know they had some injuries, which kind of hurt at the quarterback position that really kind of derailed their season a little bit. But, they got a chance to kind of hang around here, right the wrongs, maybe pull an upset. South Florida's 4-6, another team that, needs a win. I mean, and look, if they can win this game, you got a shot. But you got a tough schedule at the end of the rest of the way. You got Memphis, you got UCF next week. So, look, I'm sure they believe as a team that's going to give them, I think, some early momentum in this game. But Memphis is just so good offensively. You love that, you love the quarterback. You love the weapons they have, in the backfield particularly. So, yeah, for me, I'm not running to lay 2 touchdowns on a road with Memphis, especially against a team that has been pretty good defensively this year and, is going to be up for the game. They need the game. But Brady White, Kenneth Grant, Patrick Taylor, Coxey at the receiver. There's a lot of weapons here for South Florida. Pass for me. Michigan, Indiana. Michigan headed on the road taking on the Hoosiers. 10 Michigan laying. A lot of points here for Michigan. I was surprised by this line. Total 54.5 at Bet Online. This is a big number, isn't it? Wow. I mean, especially for an Indiana team that's 7-3. They've been terrific as an underdog this season. 3-1, getting points. They've covered 7 of 10 overall. Peyton Ramsey's not missed a beat at quarterback. And I know Michigan's offense is looked better recently. But are we really buying it? These teams aren't 10 points different. They're not. I'm getting 10 with a pretty good home dog. Sign me up. Sign me the fuck up. We know Michigan has some fumble problems, some turnover issues. And you look at it home this season. Indiana, 4-1. They've scored 34 points a game. They've given up just 11.5 points a game. This is a team that is on the upswing. Good for that group. Good for that coaching staff. It's been impressive. Tom Allen's done a great job there. Or Kevin Allen's done a great job there. Really impressive stuff from Indiana. As far as the group of games we've talked about so far, Indiana looks really interesting here. Really interesting. I got to be frank. I mean, I know Michigan's improved. I know they're playing better, and Shea looks good, and Jim's calling pretty good games. Gaddis as well. I know Jim didn't call plays, but the whole coaching staff's kind of come to a head. It seems like they're letting Shea Patterson do some things, but Ronnie Bell's injured. Ronnie Bell, I believe, is injured. Um, I like Indiana's resurgence, and I like the fact that they're at home here. A lot of points given Indiana very little respect here. It'd be nice to get a little, you know, feather in your cap here against Michigan. Kansas State at Texas Tech. Texas Tech 2.5. Total 55.5. I don't have much in this game. Look, I've talked about K-State all season. I like the resurgence going on in Manhattan. I think Chris Kleiman brings a culture kind of the way he did at North Dakota State. They're not there yet, but they've already made strides to get there, beating Oklahoma and just taking steps forward. Texas Tech didn't do much for me. I think they're kind of a dead dog. I don't really know what their identity is after Cliff Kingsbury. They show really good signs some weeks defensively, and then they look really lost defensively. So for me, it's a no play for me. I would just completely pass on this one. Same with the next one, Texas A&M, Georgia. I don't bet a ton of SEC games. It's really just not my thing. I feel like the lines are always really, really high level and really good. Texas A&M, they have some playmakers. We know that. We know how good Georgia is, though. And right now, I think Georgia's goal is obviously to win football games, but to make a statement as well. You can make a statement against Jimbo Fisher's group here, but not a game I'll be wagering on. 43.5 on a total could be a bit low. Georgia may look to show out here. We know A&M has some athletes. That could be a bit low here on total. Duke, Wake Forest. This is another game I have some interest in. This is a game I may even add. Duke plus 6.5 here looks really good. I tell you why. First of all, last year these two teams played. Wake fucking destroyed Duke. Destroyed them. It was ugly. And according to Wake, or according to the Duke players, they haven't forgotten that. Sage Surratt's out. This offense has kind of died for Wake. Defensively, I don't think they're real good. I'm not a big Duke guy, but I think the motivation, you obviously need the game if you want to get to a bowl opportunity. I think this game's close. I'll take Duke here. I think for them, I'll take the fact that it seems like they have some real interest in this game. They want to right the wrong of last year, and they want to get after it. So for me, I really like taking a shot here with Duke University. I don't love their quarterback, which sucks, but I think David Cutcliffe will have this group ready. I don't know. I like these kind of things. I like hearing these things. And like I said, Wake doesn't do a whole lot for me right now. This offense looks to be kind of all over the place. Oklahoma State, West Virginia. WVU has been kind of disappointing. Obviously, they made a regime change and they're going a different way after last year. Doesn't seem like Neil Brown's really gotten any sort of consistency. Oklahoma State, we know what they're going to do. They want to run the football with Hubbard. Stoner's still a pretty good receiver, even with Tylan Wallace out. If the quarterback plays good enough, I think this game can go over 55.5. Austin Kendall, you just got to find opportunities for him to make some plays. He's been disappointing at times this year. Pass overall. East Carolina, Connecticut. East Carolina's laying over 2 touchdowns. That's shocking. East Carolina's improved, but I mean the way they defend, the way they just love to get into shootouts. I'm not really looking to lay 2 touchdowns with them. This could be the highest scoring game of the day. It wouldn't surprise me. Neither defense offers much in the way of resistance. I think Connecticut can move the ball with Kevin Mensah. I think really if you're looking at an over here, you're really just looking – can Connecticut get to 24? I think if they can get to 24, this game will go over. I think this is like a 44-24 type of game. But I think if you bet East Carolina, you're probably going to be on the edge of your seat all day because you're going to worry about some kind of backdoor here. I mean, East Carolina is improving, and maybe Mike Houston wants to kind of set some kind of example here at home. But yeah, I can't really bring myself to bet this one. Are any plays up or absent? No, I have nothing right now. Later for sure, but no, I have nothing right now. I don't bet a lot of day games, particularly early in the season. So later. And again, you're welcome to check it at any time. You have a login. You check anytime. But I know one thing I'm going to start doing. I've noticed with handicapping, at least for me, especially on sports that are every day, waiting a little bit later to put games out. You've got to be able to make changes in what you're doing, and that's something I'm going to start doing. You got to grow as a handicapper, so that's something I'm going to start doing. Do me a favor, share the show. Appreciate that. We usually have more people come in here as the show goes on. You don't need to ask about games. Okay, I'm going over everyone. Amazing. People still are in here asking about games. Every game we go over here, guys. All right, going in order. Next one, Brigham Young, UMass. Brigham Young laying 41.5, total 69. Look, UMass is horrid defensively. We know that. Baylor's down to Zach Wilson, and I don't think he's even healthy. Could see Cricklow get snaps today. But look, UMass is bad. But can BYU put up 41 points? I think that's the big question. They put up 42 last week against Idaho State. Do I really want to go under 69 here? I really kind of do, honestly, because I don't think UMass can give you much. I don't know how much they're going to score against BYU. BYU is pretty good defense. I don't know. I feel like this game's 52-10 or something. I really do. I mean, it's crucial. It's sometimes it's suicide betting UMass unders. I would never like recommend it, but or do we just say, look, BYU score 55 points. If you do that, then I should lose because your T total is 54. Listen, again, I know UMass is not good defensively. In fact, they're horrid. But Brigham Young isn't exactly Oklahoma either. So don't be surprised if this one's like 52-10. I'm thinking about the under here, folks. I am. I'm thinking about the under. Let's say it's 59-10 or 59-7 or something. We still get an under. I'm kind of liking the under here, to be real. Did my fucking link not go out or what? I usually have 300-400 people in here. What the fuck is going on with my number? Let me get my link out here. I don't know if I didn't post it or something. There it is. Sorry, guys. I want to make sure I did post it. All right. Let's keep it going here. Thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate you all. Temple, Cincinnati. TU on the road, getting 10.5, total 44. This seems a bit high to me as well. I'm not a big Temple guy on the road, but this team is good enough. Defense either really solid. Russo's a good quarterback. They have a good run game. Ramon Davis and Jagger Gardner. I love their receivers. This Temple team's solid. They really are. And Cincinnati's shown, I think they're a little overrated, probably. The East Carolina game was embarrassing, I think, for Luke Fickell in that group. This seems close. This seems like it'll come down to the wire. I think both these games, whether it's the Indiana game that we talked about or this game, I'll gladly take the underdog, and see how it goes. I'm not in love with them. I'm not betting full units on them, but I think they're worthy taking shots here. Yeah, both these underdogs are solid prices. I think at worst you go 1-1 there. TCU, Oklahoma. This is interesting. Why is Oklahoma laying 18 here? CeeDee Lamb may or may not play. The defense still stinks. And TCU's got a good defense that can move the football. Is Dugan just going to make a ton of mistakes today? I bet against Oklahoma last week. I got the job done. Listen, to be real with you, I don't really know how you can lay 18 or at least anything over double digits with Oklahoma. Their defense isn't good enough. The problem I have is this TCU just have long drives. They don't score touchdowns, and they give you an occasional turnover because that's how you cover 18. And as Oklahoma just kind of hyped and they bury TCU here. Could happen, and that's why I'm not betting it. But I mean, if you're betting double digits with Oklahoma on a regular basis, you're going to lose. I mean, you look at last week, look at K-State. I mean, this defense isn't good enough to lay this kind of number. And if CeeDee Lamb doesn't play, I would probably take TCU here. Troy, UL Lafayette, I don't know, should be points here. UL Lafayette's a terrific run offense. Troy can't stop anybody. Not a game I'm on. Liberty, Virginia. Give me Liberty or give me death. We haven't seen Liberty in a week or so. Kind of missed them. I've had a soft spot for this group all season. I like their quarterback, Calvert. I like Gandy Golden, the receiver. Frankie Hickson, the running back. Virginia hasn't done much for me this year. They haven't been real interesting. They haven't been real good, really, either. Early start, Liberty will be up for this game. It's an in-state team. If anyone doesn't know, Liberty, where is it? Virginia. Virginia, actually, by the way, I'm a big geography guy, as many of you know. I'm always surprised at how big Virginia actually is. It's a big state. It's bigger than you think. Same with New York, for that matter. Both states are a lot bigger than you think. I think we all just assume that New York is only, the city. But, I mean, it is huge. I mean, Rochester, Buffalo, Albany, so many towns and so many big cities and just a huge area. Same with Virginia. A lot of you got DC, you got Norfolk, you got all these different places in Virginia. It's a huge state. This is a big one for these guys. Liberty is a team that generally is playing a lot of low scoring games. Defense is pretty solid. Bryce Perkins and Calvert should be fun. I get a feeling Liberty comes to play in this one. Illinois, Iowa. We'll see how good Illinois is. You got to wonder, is the effort there today? They're already bowl eligible. They've had a storybook season. I don't think they're going to go into Iowa with any sort of worry or concern or anything. They're going to play their game. Illinois is really impressive. I love the season this year from Lovey. He's really kind of shown people, you know what? I know what I'm doing. This team will be fine. They've had some huge wins this season, and they're going to a bowl, which I'm excited about. I like Illinois a lot. Like their defense. The quarterback, Brandon Peters, has been really a godsend for them. But I was tough. I was a really good defense. I don't know. Illinois team total over 15 looks interesting. I know Iowa gets a lot of love defensively, but Illinois has been sneaky, man. They hang around in games. I get a weird feeling this is like a 31-17 type of game, but not a game I'll be betting on. 145, 146, Purdue, Wisconsin. Wisconsin shown that laying big numbers with them is not real easy. I think their defense is good. It's not great. Last week it wasn't real good against Nebraska, but Purdue's just he had a tough season. So many injuries, so many quarterbacks out. Rondell Moore really hasn't played the entire season. They've had wholesale injuries on defense. It's just been a tough season for Jeff Brom. But yeah, I'm not running to bet this game. Wisconsin didn't do a lot for me. I don't like the quarterback position either. All right, a couple comments. Thank you all for watching. Just Blaze won. You're giving a lot of injury info. Is this all true? Can anyone back up the CeeDee Lamb news? Because again, I'm not sure why he would. I'm not sure why they'd make that news available now because the game's not till later. So let me just be honest. If I find out you're lying, you're out of here. We can't have people in here giving fake injury news. And again, if you're giving injury news, I want a legit source, not like at free plays on Twitter. I don't want, that's not good enough. Okay, I need a beat writer. I need somebody in college football that can back that up. So until I get that, I'm not gonna say yeah. Looks like Kirk Herbstreit says Oklahoma is getting CeeDee Lamb back. So there you go. Maybe you're onto something here. We'll see. We'll see how effective he is. All right, next one. But yeah, I didn't really have, like I said, if CeeDee Lamb played, I liked. I wouldn't bet the game if he didn't play. I would lean towards TCU. I think he's important to what they do. He could break a big play anytime. Next one, Kansas, Iowa State. I don't have much in this game. Kansas is getting better. I don't know if they're 25 points worse than anyone. Puka Williams, good player. They have a good quarterback. I'll continue to say it. Iowa State doesn't do much for me. Purdy's really good, and he'll move the ball in this game. But, Iowa State lost a lot of talent last year. Last week, tough game against Texas. They get the win, but it wasn't easy. I'm not really ready to lay 25 points with them. But Kansas, we know what they do over the years. They kind of surprise us with their ineptitude. But Les Miles seems to be taking them on the right path. Minnesota, Northwestern, Minnesota laying 16, total 40.5. Again, all these lines, betonline.ag, go check them out. Again, originators, they're going to put out lines before anybody. And also, if you're a horse guy, you like horses, BetOnline does a really good job with racing form. A lot of the big tracks, they're going to give you good info on the horses. If you don't have BetOnline, maybe you used to have it, go check BetOnline out. I put my stamp on BetOnline, and I think any guy that bets regularly and's done this for a good amount of time would do the same. They're really setting a tone in the offshore market and really setting the tone for the entire market in general. I have a link in my details section of my video here. Click it and get signed up. I support the show. Minnesota Northwestern didn't play it. I need to know that Tanner Morgan is good to go, and I'm going to get that information probably right now. Even if he does play, I would still probably bet. Yeah, looks like he's clear concussion protocol according to Ryan Burns, who's a beat writer and a media guy out in that area. So, yeah, they should be able to handle Northwestern pretty easily here. They've been a good bounce back team. They're off that loss, obviously, so I think they're going to want to, kind of put that in their rear view and get going today. Could be maybe a slow start, but I think they start to pull away and get the job done. Northwestern is pretty bad. Oregon, Arizona State, Oregon 13, total 54. Oregon is laying 13 here, and you look at this number, it's come down. Bettors taking a stand with the home dog here. And I've got to tell you, I think it's the right play. Look, I really like Oregon. I do. I love Cristobal. I like Herbert a lot. I think he's the most polished quarterback in the draft coming out, really outside of Burrow. But Arizona State is tough. They buy into Herm's system. Daniels is a really good quarterback. Their defense comes to play. That place is going to be raucous tonight. Again, if you didn't get 14, I feel like you kind of just avoid this one. But I wouldn't be surprised if this game's interesting, in the fourth quarter. Arizona State can play. They really can. I love Eno Benjamin, one of my favorite running backs in the country. And Oregon is, not a great road team. They just aren't. Look at their stats. Look at their numbers. They've been much better at home as opposed to on the road. And that's why if I'm looking at Oregon long term, they're not going to beat anybody. I don't think they're going to beat Alabama or Clemson or LSU. Or they're not going to be a factor. And that's why for me, would it be cool if they got back into the conversation and are in the Final Four? Yeah. And I think they would be if they ran the table. But it's a tough stretch here. You got this game tonight. You got Oregon State in the Civil War, who don't sleep on Oregon State, man. That team's improved as well. They've been a really good dog this year. Then you got likely Utah at the end of the season in the Pac-12 tournament or title game. So it's really about game to game and keeping your team focused if you're Cristobal. On the road here, this is a stingy Arizona State team. But again, you're at that number here where it's kind of you'd like 2 touchdowns if you could get it. Who gets in, Utah or Oregon? I don't know. Gun to my head, I'll go Oregon. I just think they're more athletic. I think Herbert is terrific. I would go Oregon. But I think both teams are really good. Put it that way. This will be a tough game. You got to take care of business right now if you're Oregon. This isn't going to be just a walk in the park. A team that should have a walk in the park tonight, a team that I've already bet, is Utah. Minus 22.5 against Arizona. I'm on this game. I've already bet it. It's one of my plays this week. I really like Utah here. I think Arizona State is horrible. I think they're horrific. Their quick drives lead to a lot of punts, and I just don't know how they, first of all, on offense, move the ball tonight. They're going back and forth between Tate and Grant Gunnell, which I never like. I don't like that 2-quarterback system. I mean, it doesn't seem like Tate is ever healthy. Utah's defense is nasty. I think this is just a long, drawn-out case of I don't think Arizona can move the ball. I don't like their skill position players. Their run game is just very average. Huntley and Moss for Utah are terrific. Their special teams is always very good. I think Utah rolls in this game. 41-10, something like that, 41-14. 22.5 is not high enough. I'd have put this number like 24.5, 25. It's too low. Right now for Utah, it's also Kyle Whittingham's not stupid. You've got to set, you got to beat this team up. You got to put points on the board. You got to make these look good. Because I'll tell you, they're kind of in play tonight with Oregon. Let's say Oregon has a close game. That looks better if Utah goes in and just fucking waxes Arizona. Arizona's a bad team. They're a bad team. I laid it with this one. Big night for that offense for Utah. South Alabama, Georgia State. I got nothing on this game. Washington, Colorado. Tough game here as well. Jacob Eason really hasn't had, I think, the season he had hoped for. And as usual, another quarterback for Washington doesn't have a great season that they hoped for. Jake Browning never did. Neither does Eason. Washington's just a flash in the pan. Listen, until Chris Peterson is fired, they won't win anything there. Chris Peterson can't win at a level like Washington. He can't even win he can't even do anything in the Pac-12. He gets into the Final Four, he gets fucking smashed. Look, if you want a guy that can maybe get you close to it, Chris Peterson's your guy. But like any kind of consistency, Chris Peterson is just an average coach. That's all he is. It just is what it is. Now, on the other side, with Mel Tucker, you have an upstart program. You have an upstart team. Laviska Shenault, terrific player. Get some good running backs at Colorado. I don't know. I'll take 14. This ain't a special Washington defense or anything. Texas State, App State. App State's rolling teams right now. Texas State just gave up 63 last week. The total here is 50. Seems a bit low. App State could score that themselves, I think, here. 45-7 is a winner. So, is this just like 31-0? I don't think. 50 seems a bit low here. Boston College, Notre Dame. No real opinion on this one. Boston College is just running in place right now as a team. They don't offer much. Occasionally they give you a good game from Dillon, but I don't know. Flip a coin here. Nevada, Fresno, another team that's had a sad season. Nevada, thought Jay Norvell's team would be better this year. Really haven't gotten any sort of traction at the quarterback position. Who is it? Christian Solano? Is it Malik Henry? I mean, it's really been a carousel. But I don't know. Fresno hasn't offered much to me either. I wouldn't really run a big number with them. They're not the same team as last year. Jorge Reyna is not Marcus McMarrion. This defense is not as impressive as it was last year. Jeff Tedford's team's okay. They're nothing special. No opinion here. UCLA, USC. I took USC team total over 39.5 here. This is another game, I think, where the home team that's better than the away team shows the fuck out. Keaton Slovis has been a revelation for USC. USC, one of the most pass-happy teams in the country. They love to throw the ball around. They really don't give you much on the ground, so they're going to throw the football. Michael Pittman is one of the best receivers in the country. UCLA, bottom 10 in the country in pass defense. USC's been on fire lately. I don't think this out of the question is he didn't touch 50 here. I think they're good enough. I think they're going to have the ball plenty in this game. One thing about UCLA, we know what Chip Kelly likes to do. I don't think DTR, the quarterback, can sustain drives here. And I think it would surprise me at all if USC punts in this game. They've been very good at forcing turnovers as well. Could get a couple short fields here. Listen, just give me 41. I don't care about anything else. Just give me 40, 41. I'm happy. 39.5, team total over. Give me USC. I'll fade UCLA's defense all fucking day. Cal Stanford. I love Davis Mills, the quarterback at Stanford. I think he's going to be a really good quarterback. I really do. He had a huge week last week against Wazoo. This Cal defense is going to be a little tougher, but I still think he's the difference in this game. I really do. I think he's a kid that really gives them some ability. He's a junior. I would really like to see this kid be the starter next year for this team. I love this kid. He first kind of came on my radar a couple weeks ago. Stanford had kind of figured it out a little bit. He put up a big game against I forget who it was. I think it was Washington. I think the game they won. I mean, he was awesome. He put up like 300 yards, a touchdown. He had a couple big plays. I like this kid a lot. I really do. I think he's the difference in this game. But this number's come down. Better's backing Cal here. Listen, you give me Monster against Mills. I'm going Mills all day. Oregon State, Washington State. It's another game I'm on. I got 3 Pac-12 games tonight, as I said. This is the other game I'm on. I like Oregon State in this game. First of all, anything over 10, I think, is a really good play here. Listen, Wazoo is a lot like Oklahoma. They're a good offense. They're going to throw the football a ton, but they can't stop anybody. I mean, you look at Washington State this year. I mean, they're giving up 30 points a game. Okay, Oregon State is not the same bad team that they once were. Okay, I mean, they're scoring 38 points a game on the road. They've got a really good running game. Their quarterback is more effective than you think, and they have a coach that really knows how to call plays. He's a terrific innovator, Jonathan Smith, as the coach over there. You look at Oregon State on the season, 6-3 as a dog, and they're 4-0 as a road underdog. I'm telling you guys, this is a good football team. And I'm going to tell you another thing. They're 5-5, guys. This team hasn't been to a bowl game in fucking years. If they're going to get to a bowl game, it's got to be this week. They've got to put their all into this game. Next week, you got Oregon. That's going to be tough. But this team has hung around in a lot of games. They hung around against Oklahoma State. They hung around against Stanford. They beat Cal. They killed Arizona. They hung around against Washington. They beat Arizona State. This team is solid, man. Just one turnover over the last 3 weeks. And you look at outside of the Cal and Cal Poly game, they don't turn the ball over really at all. And here's the big kicker with Oregon State. And one of the reasons they've been really effective as an underdog. Over the last 4 games, guys. 4 games. 13 forced turnovers. In 4 games. That's better than 3 a game. This is a good underdog, people. I'm telling you. Wazoo's not good enough to lay this number. Has anyone seen this defense? Remember the UCLA game? Remember that game? Remember the Arizona State game they lost? They gave up 38? Remember how they couldn't stop Oregon ever? They gave up 33 to Cal, guys. 33 to Cal. Not Cal with Chase Garbers. Cal with Devin Monster. Give me a break. I could be on the wrong side here. I surely could. But I like what I'm getting from Oregon State. They've been a really good doggy, and I'll rock with them here. CeeDee Lamb, number 1 receiver next April. Yeah, he ain't going to be the number 1 receiver. He'll be the number 1 receiver. He ain't going to be the number 1 pick. That's what you're saying. They destroyed Stanford last week, and many people like Stanford. The place to back Oregon State was last Saturday. Okay, well then back them. Back Washington State tonight then. Again, I mean, do what you want. I've already made my plays, and I'm very confident in what I've done. Someone's saying that why is USC's total dropping? It isn't. It's 39.5 minus 140. So it's not only dropped, it's the numbers went up as far as the juice. So listen, again, guys, I can't – what your local book has, I can't comment on. Those are different than what I'm looking at here. So I have no idea. I'm not telling you – I don't know anything about your local book. Those are not numbers that are market available. They're not. So I have no idea what your local book has. I'm just looking at Bet Online right now. Those are the lines I'm using here, and those are the lines that I got last night for the picks that I made. All right, a couple more here. We gotta keep going. I gotta get off at 11:30 here. We have a lot of games to get to. Fuck, I gotta go rapid fire here, guys. I can't spend a ton of time on some of these games. Georgia Southern, Arkansas State, no opinion. I don't bet the Sun Belt. West Kentucky, Southern Miss. I like West Kentucky. I don't like Southern Miss's defense. I think this is a battle. I really do. I like Ty Story, the quarterback at West Kentucky, but I also like Jack Abraham. Good battle between two good quarterbacks here. I think it's a toss-up. Gun to my head, I take West Kentucky. I think they have a better defense. Marshall, Charlotte. Look, I've said this time and time again. I'm not laying points with Doc Holliday and Marshall. I'm just not. They're not a favorite. I think they have 2 covers as a favorite this year in like 9 games, and they're also on the road here. Charlotte's been intriguing. I have no interest in laying points with Marshall. Again, go look at their ATS trends as a home, as a favorite. They're just not good. Texas, Baylor. I went back and forth on Texas, Baylor. I like Texas. Am I running like last week to bet Texas? To be honest, I would only solely bet on this game because Tom Herman in his career 16-3 as an underdog. Here's the issue, though. Baylor had a deflating loss last week. Texas did too. I mean, both these teams need to get off the mat. And I'll tell you, I actually really like Texas. They were going to be on my card. And so I read into a blog from the Texas football program. There's a Texas football blog that I read, and they talked about how some of the reporters mentioned that they had never seen the Texas players that low this season in some of the conferences that they did, press conferences. So while Baylor is low, I would much more rather think that Baylor's going to be, because Texas has no shot to get to the tournament here, the Big 12 title game. Baylor, still has some kind of opportunity. Baylor, I think, will get off the mat before Texas does. That quote about the locker room and seeing those guys down the way they were, that's concerning for me. Texas has shown at times to be lazy on defense. Colin Johnson's not playing today. So while I like Tom Herman as a dog and I would take a shot with him here just because he's that good as an underdog, some of the quotes coming out of Texas' locker room, I don't exactly want to hear if I'm looking to back them here. Marco, thanks for watching. It's crazy. We're going over every game. You don't need to ask. Central Florida, Tulane, another game I had an idea on. Central Florida's 1-6 in the last 7 land points. I'm not looking to lay points in the road with them. Tulane is gutsy. They play hard. I love McMillan. I like their coach. I like their defense. They played well in that building. This is another trendy dog that I'd take a shot with. SMU, Navy. I got a friend of mine that I trust. I really been friends with him since we were kids. He told me he loved Navy today, and I can't tell him I don't not like it. Like I like SMU. I think they're a little gimmicky though on offense. The Naval Academy, it's a fickle place to go. It's a tough place to win. They're better on defense than I think last week kind of provided. They just got blitzed in that game. I'm willing to think Diego Fago and the guys can bounce back today. Navy, why are they a 3.5-point favorite? SMU's the ranked team, not Navy. This is showing Navy the respect that they're due. Okay. Our friend Preston Johnson, Sports Cheetah, who I respect, he mentioned on his picks blog on ESPN that he doesn't think Navy is worthy of being this kind of number. He doesn't really respect what they've done. And I get that. I do. And last week was kind of an example of trusting Navy, but I've trusted Navy more than most, and they've always come to play for me. This number, to me, tells a story. I think SMU's a little gimmicky. I really do. I think defensively they're pretty bad. I'll take, to me, the best player on the field in Malcolm Perry, and I think Navy finds a way here. I'll tell you, though, it is not easy to lay 3.5 here. It really isn't, because Navy plays so many close games. I got to tell you, I don't do this often. I wouldn't be against laying a 160 here on a money line. I really wouldn't. I think it's warranted because I think Navy wins, but they just every game is comes down to the last play. So take that advice for what it's worth, but. Is this one where Navy just rolls on offense? To be honest, I don't think it's out of the question. SMU stinks on defense. Pretty good defensive line, though. They've had some time to prepare. Michigan State, Rutgers. I don't have much on this one. I don't want to lay over 3 touchdowns at Michigan State, but we all know how bad Rutgers is. North Texas, Rice. Shout out to Rice. Finally got a win last week. They deserved it. They played so hard all year. They've been close in games all year. I like Mason Fine, though. Don't really want to bet against him. Pittsburgh, Virginia Tech. Game I don't care about. I hate the ACC for the most part. Generally always have bad offensive lines. Virginia Tech's kind of figured it out a little bit. They could be ranked soon. In Pittsburgh, their offense is shockingly bad. No opinion. La Tech, UAB. I don't know. I know our boy Rico Bosco's on UAB, so I'll go with La Tech here just on principle. We know he's never right about anything, so we'll take La Tech here. Syracuse, Louisville. I mean, is he ever right about UAB? He loves them every week, and he's seemingly wrong every week. I think they covered 1 week for him, though. But La Tech, I think all their guys are back after that suspension, but that's something you might want to check into. I'm really just fading it because Rico gave it out. Syracuse, Louisville. By the way, keep my name out of your mouth, clown. Okay. Syracuse, Louisville. Louisville lane 8, total 65 here. Louisville, nice upswing. Syracuse, disappointing. Syracuse has been one of those disappointing teams in the country to me. I thought they would be much better than they've been, but I don't know. This game could turn in close. Houston, Tulsa, flip a coin here. Houston obviously seems like they've quit a while ago. Tulsa plays hard. Under could be interesting here. Maybe a lot of punts in this game, a lot of failures in the red zone. Tennessee, Missouri, I don't know. Flip a coin. Tennessee's getting there. They're getting better, and I think, obviously they need some wins here to get to bowl eligibility. So I'm sure they'll get a max effort today for this Missouri defense. They'll have to play tough, but yeah, I don't have much in this game. Arkansas, LSU. I mean, LSU laying over 42 here. I know a lot of smart people like the under in this game, and I don't hate it. Where does Arkansas? How do they score in this game? Arkansas is bad right now. They fired their coach, but you have to figure LSU is just going to keep the foot on the gas. Gun to my head, I'd probably lay it if I had to. Joe Burrow is the Heisman Trophy winner, and shout out to me who has him at 25-1. Yes, thank you. I know. I'll take questions later on that. That's what I do though. So San Jose State, UNLV. I like the San Jose State team. They play hard. Their coach has been really impressive. They've really become a team that I think you can bet on again and feel comfortable doing it. UNLV has been horrible lately. I think San Jose is good enough to win this by 10. I don't love laying 7. I think if this somehow ticks down to 6.5, I'd pounce on it. I love their quarterback, San Jose State, Josh Love. They have some receivers that could just catch the football. Uh, I'll tell you. I mean, I don't hate. If you know, if you can get this game and go to 4 o'clock, maybe check it a little bit later, see if it drops a little bit. Uh, I don't know. Is San Jose State's defense good enough for this one? I don't know. UTEP, New Mexico State. Uh, yeah, I'm good. I have zero interest in this game. First of all, why is New Mexico State laying 7 to anyone? Old Dominion, Middle Tennessee, another game that's tough. Bobby Wilder's team at the Old Dominion, disappointing. Their bowl team a couple years ago really kind of fell behind the wayside. Coastal Carolina, UM Monroe. Should be a pretty high-scoring game. UM Monroe can move the ball. Coastal's gotten into a lot of shootouts this year. Florida Atlantic, UTSA. No opinion. I'm not laying 3+ touchdowns with Lane Kiffin's team. UTSA, good fan base down there in San Antonio. Maybe they come to play here in one of the final games of the season and sneak inside the number. FIU, Florida International, battle of Boca and Miami here. Is Miami good enough to lay this? They've kind of improved a little bit lately. Butch Davis's team, it's kind of been disappointing at times this season. A rivalry game, I'll kind of avoid. Penn State, Ohio State. I would lay it here if I had to. I think Penn State's just beaten athletically and just every way on the field. Ohio State is really good. Really fucking good. Justin Fields is phenomenal. Chase Young's back today. Their secondary has been immovable, basically. And KJ Hamler may not play today. You look at KJ Hamler, 46 catches, the rest of the team, 54 combined. Hamler is very important to that offense. And whether he plays or not, I don't know if he's even fully healthy. They may rush him back here. This is a road game. I mean, Ohio State has just been driving stakes in teams' hearts. I mean, it's been crazy how good they've been. I think they send a fucking message today. Not that they need to, but I think they do so. I would if I had to do it, I'd lay it. Boise, Utah State. We really got to check your injury reports for this one. I know Jordan Love's been in and out. He's not healthy. I don't know if he's going to play today. Boise State, I mean, Buckmeyer's, for whatever reason, seems like his injury's gotten worse. 2 quarterbacks that may or may not play tonight. So this one doesn't go till late. I've got to see what's going on with the quarterback situation here. We don't have much info on that right now. San Diego State, Hawaii. I hate San Diego State's offense, but if they can't move it against Hawaii, I don't know what to say. Hawaii will go up against an immovable object at San Diego State on defense. Hawaii really hasn't played a defense that can stop you in a while. I think they do today. If I had to play a money line today, it would be San Diego State. Are they an underdog here? Yeah, but I don't think they should be. Rocky Long knows how to win these games. And then Air Force, New Mexico. Air Force should destroy New Mexico in the trenches. New Mexico really can't even field a team right now. As far as so many injuries, Air Force should run for 400+ yards here. I think they cruise 38-10 or something. Couple others. We got some added games here. Some of the tin pot games, as they say. Western Carolina, Alabama. I mean, Alabama shouldn't have any trouble getting to 60 here. I think the real question just is, how quick does Nick pull his guys? I don't know what the first half will be in this game. It's 57.5, so I figure it's probably 34, probably. Alabama should roll. Western Carolina is horrific defensively. But Nick, for whatever reason, this game could be 53-3 or something. Samford, Auburn. Sanford's a horrible defensive team. Auburn, can they score 50 points and cover this? They should be able to. The rest of the card, East Tennessee State's intriguing. I don't think they're as bad as maybe the record indicates, and we all know how bad Vanderbilt is. Mercer, North Carolina. North Carolina should be able to move the ball up and down the field on Mercer. Mercer got destroyed last year by Memphis. I don't think it's any different this year. If I had to play a game on this added board, I'd probably play UNC. They should be able to kill Mercer. So there you go. There you have it. Free plays. You can find them on my Twitter account. I like USC over 39.5 team total, Utah minus 22.5, and I took Oregon State plus 10.5. If I had to start a free play here on this show, it's just for all of you good girls and guys, I'll take a shot with Duke plus 6.5. I'll also take a shot as well with Indiana plus 10.5. Again, my favorite plays that are on my Twitter account. You can go there and check them out. I'm on 31 and 24 posting those plays. So yeah, I'm out. I got to go, guys. I got to do a radio call with the radio station. So you all enjoy your day. Before I do go, a quick comments here. Any college baskets, as I said, will be involved later. Richard Claus he's down 200. The horses fucked me. Well, you got to be careful, bro. You shouldn't be betting those late night tracks. Do you have any time to break down Big Men on Campus against Double Vodka Don? Yeah, I'm a little calmed down from that now. So last night I was on Twitter, and I saw Stu Feiner is going to fight in the next Rough and Rowdy in Miami. Down for Barstool at the Super Bowl. They're doing a big Rough and Rowdy event. They're amateur boxing. So I said that I would love to fight Stu. So out of the clouds comes Big Ev, Double Vodka Don, who I know. I've met him. He's a great guy. Him and I had an idea when I was interviewing there to do some content together. I respect DVD. I do. I think he's a good kid. I like him. He's a little younger than me, which, he's doing his thing. Good for him. But he out of the clouds says, fight me instead. And then he's calling me out and shit. I don't know where that came from, but okay. You want to fight? Well, I'll fight. I'm good with it. Like, let's go. Set it up. I'll be there. So I don't know if I'm going to be on it or not. I don't know what, the powers that be will say, but yeah, I'm in. I'm in. If he wants to fight, I'm in. And if he wants to fight on that big fucking Rough and Rowdy stage at the Super Bowl in front of all those people, I'm in. I'll train. I have people that can train me, okay? So I don't know if he quite knows what he's thinking, but hey, if the young kid wants some smoke, I'll give it to him. But yeah, he came out of the clouds with that DVD. I don't know what the fuck he was thinking, but hey, we'll see what happens. Oh, and by the way, I think he is friends with Rico Bosco, so I get a feeling that's driving this a little bit because he knows I fucking hate Rico. Glove or no gloves? It'll be gloves. It's a regular boxing match. It's 3 1-minute rounds. So we'll see. We haven't. It was just kind of Twitter convo. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know. But all right, guys, I'm out of here. Appreciate you all checking me out. Did I hear the Orgeron bit on Howard Stern? Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was how I thought Howard would react. Orgeron's an interesting character. So Ramon Scott, thank you. Appreciate it. Ralph, what's up? Thank you. Dukes, thanks. Ryan, what's up? Thank you. Give him the smoke. I will, man. I ain't worried about that. I'll have fun with it. Hey, may the best man win. I like DVD. I don't not like the kid. He came out of the fucking clouds with that. The young kid wants some smoke. I give it to him. I'm not talking. I don't need to talk. I got guys that can train me. Big man, he won't actually fight you. He's selling wolf tickets. We'll see if he is. I don't know if he is or not. But as I said, I'm in. You just gotta tell me where. Do you have the cardio? Of course I do. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. How about you come down? I'll beat you up too. We'll have some fun. It'll all be fun. And I'll tell you another thing. If they pay me, I'll donate half to charity. 100%. I won't, it's around the Super Bowl. I'll put up half to charity. If I win anything out of it. You all have a great night. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the college football day, and hope you win. Have a great day.